They begged me for 18 months. That's the homie from Compton, Paul Roux show, Jim Bob. Jim Bob came to me for 18 months. Him and one of the writers for Power, begging me to do it. I didn't want to do it. No disrespect, because I didn't want the segment to end with music with me. I always told myself, when I do that type of style thing, I want to have my other thing going on, right? Which like now I could do it, because it's going on, right? But I said, Jim, no disrespect, that's a G homie. But I said, go ahead, Big, you do it. He'll eat it up. He looking for the light.
Wait, let me ask you a couple questions, because I ain't gonna lie. It was reading through the entire indictment, I was fucking flabbergasted of just how accurate. And I'm not gonna lie, you said these things, and all these niggas gaslit you up here. They were like, what are you talking about? What AK case? What this? Nigga, I'm reading through the shit. I'm like, this nigga Wack is on the money.
June 23rd, 2023.
But how do you find out about that, though?
Okay, I'm going to keep it 100. Could I tell how I found out about it?
Whatever you want to say.
Okay. A certain person's wife is intimate with a Paru. You know it's the truth. Paru, dead homies. When I come off it, I'll FaceTime him.
So that's how you really found out?
Nigga, when he went to jail, she called her significant other.
I think it was like an ex-boyfriend
Ain't no
situation,
ex-boyfriend. Because I know my homeboy and I know his situation, right? It's Lil Jon's homie. Lil Jon know I'm talking about. He's a very well-known dude. He's tied to a bunch of people, right? So when he went, I get the call. He said, hey, you know, that boy called up. Said, who that? Whoop. I said, how you know? He said, you know. I said, oh, okay. You said? He said, yeah, I'm going to send you his info. They come in, they catch him with a K. She gonna know because she at home. They catch him with a K. This how I knew. This is why when Brick was saying in one of these rooms, having a tantrum, I don't know how cuz be knowing he on some police shit. That's because, nigga, you got a leak in your waterbed. I don't wake up and say, the day while he was still in there, I'm on Clubhouse saying it.
Not gonna lie, man.
I called the date. I called the date, the year. I told you what caliber.
And let me ask you, actually, I got a question for Adam on this. Because, like, even reading the whole thing in this what they call the Big U Enterprise, and even when Brick Baby comes up here to work, even certain conversations being allowed on this platform, they ever pull you to the side, like, again, not saying that it would be the cause of it, but it's exacerbating it, right? It's so adding context. Like,
all the time.
Y'all are coming in here and I mean, there's a part where they're like, hey, we knew this, but then on the No Jumper podcast, they corroborated it. And I'm like...
No, definitely. And just because I have it pulled up, I really want to just play this one clip that has been going kind of viral that's like generally considered to be like the most federal clip that anybody on the podcast has ever had. This is Loose Cannon.
So basically, it's like, cause he'll be like he'll
talking about Big U
things like we'll go and do something, and the same niggas we do it to show up to the house like 10 minutes later when we trying to counting everything, right? And we be like, how the they get that? Oh, well, we're gonna just give them like $40,000 back and stuff like that. But cause it's actually putting us in paperwork, right? And like doing like real police shit. I seen the nigga get like 20 guns, and when he got 20 guns, he's selling them to the homies. But I'm like, why are you writing down the serial numbers? So it's like he was doing like shit like that, and I didn't catch on. So it was like, I'm waking up now. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm his high-tech shit. I'm his right-hand man. You get what I'm saying? So when it came down to like dirt and stuff like that, I'm gonna get it. You get what I'm saying? And then like
people are pretty astonished because almost that exact thing is listed in the indictment.
Now let me go back to what you asked me.
Conversation.
Yeah.
This is why when Loose Cannon was calling me about what 600 was doing, I'm looking at the phone like, you can't be serious. 600 then made a video with him saying what he was saying 2 seconds later and put that. So you're calling me about what 600 is saying. Brody, have you forgot the things you said?
So basically, though, they both was admitting that they were saying police shit.
600 wasn't saying police shit because
he was trying to contradict it. He was trying to say
600 was reporting what was on the internet. That wasn't on the internet.
That's his own personal
I'll give you
story that he lived.
I know how to protect my team. How did it get to the internet? I made sure it went to the proper stages of getting into the internet. I ran a clubhouse room. I played snippets, had my media team tape it, clip it, send it to YouTube, and I sent you 600. Now you can talk about it. It's on the internet.
All right, so Wack, when you hearing
blueprint right
stories
there.
of Lou saying shit like that, so you didn't have
That ain't my business.
no, but you didn't have any clue that he could be caught up in this RICO or anything that was going
How
on?
would I have? I had no idea.
I think Luz thought he was kind of.
I had no
and
idea.
that's
Yeah,
the
I
thing
didn't-
about.
Lutz thinks
some
that
of these
because it was
conversations.
2-3 years ago, like, oh, he got 20 guns. It's like, it just sounds like he's talking bullshit. But when the feds are actually able to put the case together and show that this is the type of thing they were actually doing, all of a sudden these
What they're
podcast clips
keying on in
become
that-
very important.
You know what they're keying on in that?
What?
When he says, I'm his right-hand man. See, Luce's case, the robbery he has nothing to do with Big U. What they're doing is they got this guy, this guy, this guy. They got sex trafficking, they got extortion, they got a murder, and they got some wire fraud, all that
And
stuff.
same
right?
things with Brick is that none of his charges are actually related to Big U as of yet.
But what the Big U, Brick, and Luce have in common? They're all from
6-0,
rolling sixes.
rolling
And
sixes.
guess what? Brick's situation and Luce's situation independently involves the same guy that was being extorted. So they're saying you were operating for Big U doing these things.
Yeah.
The same guy, Dale Monster, I know him, right? That Big U sent Sylvester Vest over there to pick up $1,000 every week of the Fed's money. You read that, right?
From the dispensary guy.
From the
right?
dispensary guy, right? The same guy that was going on with is the same guy that legitimately had issues with these two men that had nothing to do with that. They had nothing to do with they didn't know Big U was even doing that. But when he says, I'm his right-hand man, they saying, okay, 6-0, 6-0, 6-0, Best 6-0, and Best ain't even a gang member. Bear Claw 6-0, right? And we got one target, the same dude. Well, you did that. Now, we ain't going to say it's independent. We're going to say you did that because they was doing that.
Yeah.
And we're going to call this the Big U enterprise, which is some bullshit. When the realest thing Big U said on his turn-in little videos was, Loose Cannon, Brick Baby, or not Brick Baby.
He said,
'cause
Loose
fucks with
Cannon,
Brick.
I don't really
No,
fuck
he
with
did
him.
say
Brick
Brick
Baby,
Baby.
I don't really fuck with
But he
him.
fucks with Brick Baby.
But he,
No, he said he
but he
doesn't.
did say
He
in the
does- I don't
video.
know if
say
he
he
fucks
don't.
with Brick Baby. Do we fuck with Brick Baby?
Yes.
That's a fact.
Wait, he denounced
No,
it?
no,
He
he
denounced
fucks.
Brick Baby.
In his
Really?
exit
Yeah, but
video,
he fucks with him. But Loose, he don't.
I mean, but it is alleged that, and that's why I'm so surprised that if I'm Brick Baby and I feel like him and you have a close personal relationship,
Mhm.
I'm either quitting or I'm telling
No,
you
bro.
no more conversation about
Bro,
me.
no,
Like,
no.
He definitely needs to be careful.
It's alleged that he would rob somebody and then have these conversations. And first of all, they were tapping Big U's phone. And
They
break it down with him, which is pretty much kind of like extortion.
I don't think Brick
And
was doing
if
any
it-
of that stuff while he was working here. I'm gonna be real with you.
Okay, but
or
if
at
you've
least
done
I
it
have
in
no
the
idea.
past,
Yeah.
why would you ever talk about that man's crimes? If your
a
crimes
lot
are
of these
linked to
dudes
his,
feel like if they get away with it
He
for
don't
a few
wanna-
weeks,
listen.
that they're safe.
Brick never wanted to talk about it.
if me and you used to rob stores back in the day,
Yeah.
and then now I'm on a podcast, and people want to talk about your robbing history. Maybe we're talking about you robbing stores in over there, and I
Yeah.
never robbed stores. I don't want to talk about you robbing stores. If we used to do something of the sort, that's why I'm so surprised that I thought Brick like maybe didn't have anything to do with it. I mean, again, obviously these are allegations, but kind of reading, I'm like, I don't know
What did Brick say on
that
your
paycheck
show
can't be that good. I would
when
have
I
stopped this
asked
whole
him
show.
about the AK case? He said what? It was dismissed in Compton court. Ain't that what he said? I said, what's up with that AK case? You called June 23rd, 20.
He said
It was
DA
dismissed
reject.
to DA reject. No, it ain't, Brick. The feds got it, along with the cell phone. So now you got to ask yourself, if I got caught with that, right? I'm going to be like, yo, bro, I got caught. They ain't gave me a court date.
But-
I'm not going to hide it.
By the way,
There's
that's,
a reason why you hide it.
by the way, people think that you're the cop for that, but in
I'm the
reality,
what?
no. In reality, that's just being smart. It's the same thing with Zay Osama when he got caught with the switch in the Uber, and New York picked it up and dropped it. And he's like, I remember he dissed me. He was like, "Yo, I told you they ain't had nothing on me." And then the feds came right, like, "Come on,
The
like
Fed-
that's
no,
just
you
using your
missing what I'm
brain, right?
saying. Compton Court never had it. The feds has always had it. Day one.
Mm.
He knew that. But why'd you lie? Because you know you got that sealed file over there about Sue Surf and them in Jersey.
Well,
That's
what
in
did
the
Brick ever
paperwork.
have to do with them? You think Brick is in some way
Big
complicit
U
with that?
too. He had a sealed file. The exposers, Prince, Lavish, pulled it up. We tracked the case number back to Sue Surf and them. First, we thought it was some Dirk shit. It's not Dirk shit. He got a sealed file, dope case, New Jersey. It's the same shit. Indictment,
it is.
Sue Surf and them.
Yeah.
I know it is. Nigga, we the exposers, bro. That's a Clubhouse thing. Let's straighten that out, too. The exposers come from Clubhouse, on the side of Clubhouse, right? It was whack, 600. I let Loose Cannon in.
He really bangs Clubhouse like it's his neighborhood.
Yo,
That's a fact.
crazy.
That's my tool.
Yo, whoever on Clubhouse,
level of
no,
commitment
he
is
got
nuts.
great
Boy, you
sources
better
on.
check-
He
boy.
got, and listen, they on Pacer because
Boy.
I looked up the same thing and I was like, I see Jersey, but I'm not putting together what you're saying. I'm like, why the fuck is a Jersey thing reference to Brick Baby? There is
Big
a
U's
Jersey
in the
case.
same paperwork.
But what the hell could they have been doing with Jersey?
New Jersey 60s.
Right, but what were they doing?
I think there
involved
was
with
someone with narcotics.
Brother,
I
if
don't
you
know.
read it, it says Big U's a gang leader. He supplied drugs and guns. He's number 4 out of 14, right? They got him identified, the conversations, wiretaps. This was crazy. Big U know this paperwork exists, but he don't change his phone numbers. He don't change his Instagram. This 2022. We in 2025. He still got the same information now. But 2 weeks later, when they go to serve the indictments, everybody that's in the paperwork early April, late April, they pick everybody up, but Big U name not there.
Wait,
Took down a whole nother 5.
How do you know what's in the sealed indictment for the
No,
the
we
Sue
matched.
Surf?
No,
Oh,
no,
you
we got
you
the
matched-
Sue Surf. Well, we got that work.
Okay.
That's not sealed.
Okay. Yeah.
But we matched case number
Case number, okay.
of Brick Baby sealed to their indictment.
Okay. It's just a sealed document.
It
in the
says
case.
New Jersey
Okay,
drugs.
got you. Damn.
And I just want to say this as someone who I think, out of this group, I think I was the only one that really maintained communication with Big U over the years. I remember
That's
when
your friend.
y'all two were cool. I remember at one
Super
point.
tight.
I remember at one point you called me because you were upset at me over something and he was trying to smooth it over or something like that. So I remember y'all were cool.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
bro,
so
that's
this
just like
to me just kind of saddens me how it devolved into what it devolved into.
if you read that paperwork, you understand who he is. Dude is selfish. He want to be the one. Be the one at which you're the one at. One of his older homies said, Wack, you a good dude. You done helped us a lot over here, bro. Every time you do something for him or open the door for him, he gets more envious of you. In his head, he's saying, I'm Big U from Rolling 60s. I'm supposed to be able to do that. He said, every time you do something for him, teach him something, give him a plug. I'm grateful and thankful for any plug, any resource I get, anybody that helps me out. I'm never looking I want to be bigger than this dude. I just stay in my lane. I want all my friends, my buddies around me to be bigger than me because it gives me something to keep climbing for. And if they're bigger than me, if I slip and take a fall, I got great support. It's the way I see it. Nobody ever tell you they got the feeling for me that I was trying to outshine them, outdo them. None of that.